We, the people, are running out of time. The government deadline is approaching that could trigger a national ban on DJI drones. These are the essential tools that we use for filmmaking, real estate, inspections, agriculture, and even public safety. And most people don't even know about the truth, but here it is. A full national security audit cannot be completed in time. December 23rd, 2025 is the deadline, and completing the audit before that date is a mathematical impossibility. And to reiterate, if nothing happens within this time frame, then DJI will automatically get banned. But the good news is that there is a practical, realistic political solution, and it does not require the completion of an audit before the deadline. This is the last and final consideration. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how we can stop the ban, protect national security, and keep DJI drones within the United States. Let's go. Under the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act, DJI must undergo a national security audit by December 23, 2025. And if no agency completes that audit in time, then DJI is automatically placed on the FCC-covered list. That means no new DJI products can be sold, no imports, retailers cannot stock new DJI products, and future firmware updates may be blocked. Republicans and Democrats, hear this. This is not only going to hurt the hobbyists, this is also going to impact public safety, filmmaking, construction, inspections, most of all, agricultural dependency. The entire industry relies on DJI because of its affordability and compatibility and capabilities. And it is corroborative that all of the information just leads us to believe that no one wanted to conduct this security audit. And the real shocker here is that the audit cannot be finished in time, period. So here's why the audit deadline cannot be met. A real national security audit requires firmware analysis, code review, penetration testing, supply chain analysis, server communication validation, and also the breakdown of the hardware where an intelligence review can be conducted. These type of audits typically take 6 to 12 months. Why do you think it went for a whole year? And everyone who's been making videos saying that these rumors are false, well, no comment. So for the next 21 days, well, is it possible to have an audit? Well, no. Even DJI would say that a 30-day audit is unrealistic for any credible assessment. And any expert in this field would agree that it cannot be done by December 23rd, 2025. So here's a great question. If the deadline is basically impossible, then why does it exist? And that's a simple, easy answer. And that's because the deadline is designed as a default ban switch. No audit equals automatic ban. That's it, you're done. So now let's flip over to the other side, and that is that there is good news. It's not too late. Lawmakers, listen, even though the audit cannot be completed in time, it's absolutely not too late to stop the ban. I can name at least 5 legitimate political procedural escape routes that can prevent DJI from being banned in the United States. And please listen, because these are the words for millions of law-abiding citizens here in this country. Number 1, Congress can grant an extension. The audit by December 23, 2025 requirement is part of law, and Congress retains full power to amend or extend that requirement. Congress can push the deadline back, change the terms, replace the clause, or have a different standard. It's simply a matter of the legislator only needing to introduce a bill or amendment. And if the president signs to let it pass, then the law gets rewritten into a new deadline and new conditions. This is a viable and practical solution that supersedes over a political decision. We need a little more time to figure out how this is going to affect our economic situation and our economic resources. Number 2, Congress can replace the audit with a smarter policy. How about the creation of something called a Trusted Vendor Certification Program, where any drone company, foreign or domestic, must pass the same security standards? There should be no discrimination, just transparency, encryption, server controls, and independent verification. The reason that I'm stressing these points is because we have a lot of foreign-made products here in the United States that we rely on, and to get rid of them to hypothetically boost the American economy may be something that's considered as being fatalistic. We can only hurt ourselves by refusing to utilize something that we desperately need. The third practical solution is that an agency can begin the audit process before the deadline and request more time. If DHS, Department of Homeland Security, DoD, Department of Defense, or ODNI, which is the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, opens the audit now, they can say that the review is underway and a final determination is pending. This is a practical solution because it provides us more time to figure out a way to preserve our national security while maintaining our economic stability. And most importantly here, what it does is that it provides the FCC with legal grounds to pause the enforcement and delay adding DJI to the covered list. Now, if the strength of this entire political system is based on the voices of we the people, then someone out there must be listening. Let's figure out a way to protect our country without perforating the individuals who are the primary support of our economic system today. And speaking of this, number 4 will be the FCC can delay enforcement. And the reason that they can is because the FCC has its own power of discretion over the companies that have been added to the covered list. They can take the slow walk down the enforcement road for reasons such as economic impact, lack of alternative solutions, or public safety concerns. This happens all the time with telecommunications and trade regulations, and in many cases the agency will routinely grant extensions, they'll pause enforcement or issue forbearance orders so that way the companies can comply without being penalized. In actuality, this goes way beyond practical solutions. We have a duty not only to safeguard the national security, but also to defend its fundamental right of individuals to be able to make their own decisions. Our responsibility is twofold: to protect national security and also to preserve every person's freedom to make their own choices. Whenever people are able to make their own choices, the results are profound, both individually and collectively. And when that freedom, or should I use the word autonomy, is taken away, historically the results can be stifling for innovation. We need to fly free so that way we can pursue new ideas, new technologies, solutions without being constrained. This is a very powerful concept that will lead us to a much better, brighter future. And number 5, which is basically the heart of this video in regard to practical solutions, is for us to protect U.S. economic stability. DJI drones are deeply integrated into the U.S. economy, and banning them would immediately disrupt multiple industries. We have a reliance on these drones for everyday business operations and opportunities. Going down the list, such as real estate for aerial marketing and 3D tours, constructions for site inspections and progress monitoring, agricultural for crop monitoring and precision farming, filmmaking, media, and also cinematography for drone footage, utilities and inspections such as cell towers, power lines, pipelines, the men and women who are actively involved in surveying, mapping, and also environmental monitoring. These are our livelihoods, and we support ourselves and our families with the tools that DJI drones provide. Consider some of these practical solutions so that way you would be able to come up with alternative solutions where we can have replacements for these type of drones so we don't disrupt the stability of our economy. Retain this very important closing thought. The DJI ban is not just about drones. It's about freedom, innovation, and economic survival. We don't have much time, and there's an extremely narrow window of opportunity for us to act. Sometimes doing something is better than not doing anything at all. Let me give you a heartfelt narrative that ties this drone crisis into something meaningful. In America, we believe in choices. When you walk into a car lot, you have options. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Honda. We have luxury vehicles, electric cars, hybrids, and we don't rule out or ban entire companies simply because of its origin. What we do is we evaluate, we regulate, we anticipate, and the key foundation behind the American backbone is the freedom of choice. And I use the word freedom because everything revolves around it. Well, except for the mandate where they forced you to get a COVID vaccine, choosing something that's right for you, for your life, for your work, and for your budget is very important in the United States. But what is so disheartening is that with drones, that freedom does not exist right now. The US simply does not have a competitive market with equal alternatives. And it's crucial to understand at this point that DJI is not simply an option. For many of us law-abiding, hard-working American citizens, it's the only affordable, reliable, and capable platform that allows them to work, create, and provide for their families. We want to avoid an economic disaster. So before we rush towards a ban that removes the primary tool used by millions of remote pilots, let's give one valuable moment to think about this intelligently. If this is a national security risk, we have the power to tell them to remove it. And if they don't comply with that order, then we have the power to remove them. We don't take away people's cars without giving them a viable alternative, and we shouldn't be taking away their drones either, at least not without careful consideration or proven options. America succeeds when people have the right to choose, and this moment is no different. And we know now that a full security audit cannot be completed before the deadline, but there are practical solutions. We're all here together and we want national security, but we also want to keep our industries, our business, and our freedoms intact. So for everyone who's viewing this video, now is the time for us to raise our voices. We need to make contact with our representatives, share this message, post a comment on this video. Let's try to make our lawmakers understand that we must safeguard our security without destroying our choices, our jobs, and our ability to innovate. Remember, this is not just about drones. It's about preserving the right to make our own decisions and keeping America flying under our beautiful flag of freedom. So until we reach December 23rd, 2025, I'm Mike Seitz, and I will see you all on the next video.